GAC Sports Network welcomes you to the following presentation of the Great American Conference, presented by Crafton Tall and Subway.
Live from Bartlesville, America, this is the Great American Conference Championships. Hello, friends. I'm Paul Smith. Joey McWilliams and Michael Westbrook will join us very shortly. Well, tonight you have the Harding Lady Bisons, your 2016-17 Great American Conference regular season champions, as they take to the tournament to defend that regular season title against the 8th-seeded Cotton Blossoms of the University of Arkansas-Monticello. As we have seen today, anything can happen in these matchups, so we will send it courtside. Michael Westbrook, Joey McWilliams. Gentlemen, the call is yours.
It is another day of Great American Conference basketball. Starting lineup's about to be introduced here in just a moment. Michael, it's the 1 seed versus the 8 seed. Really quickly, we do know that anything can happen, will it, today?
Yes, but we also know that Tim Kirby has his team at 24-3. Harding is the dominant team. They were during the regular season. They are the favorite in this one at 21-1 in conference play. So they've got a target on their back. Everybody wants to try to beat them because they are the best team here in this tournament.
Well, it's happened only one time this season. That was at the hands of Southwestern, a team that will be playing tomorrow. In the meantime, Monticello has its work cut out for that team right now. We're going to go ahead and take a break for the national anthem. We'll be back with the starting lineups and more Great American Conference Tournament basketball on the GAC Sports Network coming up next.
I knew Arkansas Tech had an impressive history,
but I didn't know that my professors would look out for my future.
I knew I'd be throwing fastballs on the field, but I didn't know I'd be on the fast track to physical therapy school.
I knew my art professors had years of experience, but I didn't know that I would get real-world experience before graduation.
I knew Tech was close to home, but I didn't know it would feel like home.
Tech has one of the highest graduation rates in the state. Come take a tour of campus and discover what else you don't know about Tech.
I knew Arkansas Tech had an impressive history,
but I didn't know that my professors would look out for my future.
I knew I'd be throwing fastballs on the field, but I didn't know I'd be on the fast track to physical therapy school.
I knew my art professors had years of experience, but I didn't know that I would get real-world experience before graduation.
I knew Tech was close to home, but I didn't know it would feel like home.
Tech has one of the highest graduation rates in the state. Come take a tour of campus and discover what else you don't know about Tech.
With the $3.50 sub of the day at Subway, there's never been a better time to try something deliciously different. Because every day of the week, you can now get a featured 6-inch Subway sub for just $3.50. So mix up your lunchtime routine and treat yourself to the endless flavor combinations at Subway. The $3.50 sub of the day. We took an already great lineup and made it even better. A better price, great taste, and no artificial flavors. The $3.50 sub of the day, only at Subway.
College students often talk about changing the world after they graduate. We are on a mission to do just that while still in school, applying academic excellence in our chosen areas of study in a range of undergraduate, graduate, and health science fields inspired by Christian values. Then taking those values into the world, equipped and focused on our mission to change it and ourselves for the better. Harding University.
Back here in Bartlesville as another one of the Bartlesville students performing the national anthem here. Glad to be along with you this evening. March has arrived. Conference basketball tournaments have arrived. I'm Joey McWilliams along with Michael Westbrook tonight. We've arrived. We've actually been here for a couple of games so far. One women's, one men's, and that is the lineup for tonight. One women's game, one men's game as the starters are being introduced now for the Monticello Blossoms. The Cotton Blossoms from UAM, coached by Tanya Ray. And let's get those starters to you right now. Wearing number 1 this evening, a junior, 5'8" junior from Little Rock, Arkansas, a guard Taylor Collins. A 5'7" junior from Searcy, made it from Harding. She escaped Harding. She's going to be playing for UAM. Wearing number 5 today, a guard Brittany Broadway. A 5'1" sophomore from Missouri City, Texas, a guard wearing number 20, Aisha Waheed. A 6-foot junior from Horn Lake, Mississippi, a guard wearing number 33, Treasure Evans. And a 6-foot senior from Mesquite, Texas, a forward wearing number 44, Nelsha Peterson. The UAM Cotton Blossoms are 11-15 on the season, 8-14 in GAC play. And the Harding lineup being introduced to you right now. We'll get with that as the starters look like this. A 5'11" junior from North Little Rock, Arkansas, guard wearing number 3, Fallon Miller. A 5'11" freshman from Frisco, Texas, a guard wearing number 13, Peyton Paget. A 5'11" junior from Paragould, Arkansas, forward wearing number 21, Sydney Layrock. A 6'1" sophomore from Little Rock, Arkansas, forward number 30, Carolyn Hogue. And a 5'6" senior from West Plains, Missouri, a guard wearing number 14, Andrea Haney, as the Harding Lady Bisons, coached by Tim Kirby, are 24-3 on the season, 21-1 in the GAC, and as Paul mentioned earlier, the 2017 regular season champions. Michael, third time in 4 years that has happened. Quite an effort for Coach Tim Kirby and his squad.
And several of these players have been around for multiple championship runs, Andi Haney being one of them. She is the leader of this team, no doubt, averaging 11 points a game. But where I think Harding has the advantage tonight is in the post. Sydney Layrock, Caroline Hogue, what they do down low is going to dictate this game. Nelsha Peterson will have her work cut out for her in the post, UAM's post player.
Well, and if you listen to the starting lineup, then you heard guard, 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 and forward along the way. Only one team in the conference has fewer players listed outside of the guard category. That's Northwestern. I think everybody that lines up in a uniform is a guard at Northwestern. In the meantime, jumping center, it's going to be Treasure Evans going against Hogue. Hogue controls the tip, and Harding will get it. And to go ahead and finish that point, Michael, you're right. The size differential that Harding brings out could be key. Although to get things going, a three-pointer taken right off the bat as Caroline Hogue swats it out of bounds. And UAM will get its first possession of the evening.
Well, they'll want to shoot a little bit better from downtown than their men's team did a little bit earlier today. It was a 5 for 35, I believe is the number on that.
That is correct.
For the Harding Bisons, and what really unraveled their chances a little bit earlier today.
14% from outside the arc. You just can't win too many ball games shooting that way, inside or outside the arc. And we have a foul away from the ball. It's going to come on a screen, and you know, you're talking about somebody that's going to have her work cut out for today. That's Nelsha Peterson. It just got harder because she picked up her first foul on a moving screen.
Early on, you don't want to have one like that, and you don't want to have it on the offensive end either.
Harding with its second possession of the evening, and they just keep coming at you and coming at you. Pass inside, cutter, it was knocked away. It's going to fall right into a Harding player's hands, and cutting this time is Andi Haney. Shot no good, tipped back. Layrock will get it, and Hogue drives through, has it swatted twice, gets it back. She can't make the point-blank shot. Harding 0 for everything, and opportunities that looked big. UAM takes it back down the court. And get ready to hear this many, many times tonight. Andi Haney stepped in the passing lane and knocked it away.
That's right. She leads the Great American Conference and steals 2.2 a game, 58 steals during the course of the regular season.
You know, it's not always that she steps in the passing lane, although expect that, because she baits the pass just like, you know, a good cornerback would bait a quarterback to throw it down the field. She does that, but she also plays so aggressively to come up and just swipe it out of the dribbler's hands, whomever it may be.
Again, I said she's the leader of this team.
Driving in is Evans, kicks over Peterson. That was swiped just a bit. Hogue got a fingertip on that just enough. And Haney looks down the court and finds Hogue to the corner. And outside, Hogue's going to get it back. A little triangle action going on. Telling you what, Phil Jackson would be pleased with that. Haney drives in, lowers the shoulder, contact, players on the court, no foul, still contact. And the officials are letting this one go. And now there's a whistle that's blown as Broadway drives in, and she was fouled by Paget.
And back to the Hogue block a minute ago. Okay, well then there's something else you'll be saying a lot, because she's #1 in the conference in block shots per game. And she is just incredible in the post. 70 blocks this season now, and she's just a force around the rim. Listed at 6'1", only a sophomore.
Nearly 2 minutes have gone by here. And there's your first point put on the scoreboard as Paget goes out. Coming in for her, for Harding, is a sophomore, Riley Rose, hometown girl from Searcy. The Lady Bisons come in on a 10-game winning streak. Second free throw missed. But there's a streak that's actually longer than that, Michael. It's an 11-game winning streak that Harding has over UAM. On just it's the series between the two as Rose kicks it out. Both of those pretty impressive. One of them for a season, one of them for about 5. You have that kind of success over another team for 5 seasons, that's pretty solid. However, you have to get some shots to fall, and to this point, Harding hasn't made that happen in 5 attempts.
Sometimes a team wins by luck, sometimes it's by skill. I asked Scott Good, the sports information director at Harding, what has it been like? And he said, hey, we've been playing really great over the last 10 games.
That's the way to get it done. Rose looks up just in time to make that catch. And they work the ball around the outside. Haney for 3, and that's good. And already a step ahead of the men's team right there, I think, getting that three-pointer to fall. And I mean no disrespect to the men's team in saying that. It was a tough afternoon for the Bison's men's team. Rose comes up and presents solid defense. Man-to-man, and Hogue will step in the passing lane this time. The outlet, a handoff to Haney. Rose for 3. Off the mark, but it will stay with Harding. Harding wearing the white jerseys, black numbers and letters, and Monticello wearing the black visiting jerseys, white numerals, green letters. Hogue will go out now as Sydney Jones, sophomore from North Little Rock, will check in for her.
Taylor Collins not able to hold on to that last rebound. That's something Monticello's going to have to do. They cannot give Harding second and third chances.
You mentioned Collins, she's a junior from Little Rock. There's definitely a Little Rock connection between both these schools. And now we'll see an opportunity at the free throw line for Andi Haney. Her sister Tabitha played at Harding before her. That's another thing. The family connections that go through the Harding program throughout sports is just amazing. It definitely, it's a recruiting tool, no doubt. If you've got a family member playing there, you want to be a part of a program that's going to be a solid program, there you go.
I was thinking back to soccer.
Yeah.
And the history there with the soccer coaches and the amount of players from that
exactly
there.
More than one family. Haney makes the second of 2 free throws. It's 4-1. She goes to the court, and Aisha Waheed with the ball, and maybe an opportunity. Leading scorer for this UAM ball team. Drives baseline, and her shot's no good.
And she's on the court, 5-on-4.
Well, Layrock was the cutter, and Rose with the no-look pass, but Layrock decided to back off catching it. Maybe somebody behind her, and there was no one there. So another turnover for Harding. And Layrock, as she comes down the court, patted her chest, said, yeah, that was my fault.
Paget back in will give Haney a bit of a rest. You know, UAM just 1 point so far. I haven't talked enough about Waheed because, like you said, leading scorer, just a sophomore. She has to be involved.
And there she takes the shot. That was partially blocked UAM will keep it. Shot clock did not reset. And the quick trip to basket, no good. Peterson's shot swiped away as well. Jones got a hand on that, so Broadway couldn't make it, neither could Peterson. And Harding with another offensive opportunity. Pass inside to Jones. Turnaround jumper on Peterson, no good. And Nelsha gets the board.
That's a great job of her to clear space, make sure she's the only one that can come down with the rebound.
Pass to the corner, baseline jumper, finally. A field goal rattles home. Treasure Evans with that jumper. The junior from Horn Lake, Mississippi, has the Cotton Blossoms to within one. Always a lot on the line in the conference tournament as you think about players, seasons that will continue or come to an end for this Harding team. Not just an opportunity to play at the NCAA tournament, win or lose, and nice drive to the basket that time by Layrock, but an opportunity to host a regional as well.
Well, that's right. They are second right now in the Central region, and the same scenario that occurred a couple of years ago very well likely could occur this year. Emporia, the #1 team, they're not going to be able to host because of the big high school tournament that they have every year.
So Harding, if it kept that #2 spot, the NCAA regional would likely be in Searcy, Arkansas. That's Miller. Excuse me. That was Padgett, and they lose control of it. UAM will take it the other way.
Pittsburgh State sitting at third, just one win behind Harding, and Pittsburgh State hosting last year. So they would be in the mix as well.
Evans stops, jumper off the glass, not enough on it. Looks ahead, and that one's taken away. Nice job by Collins to step in there. UAM hanging around here in the opening quarter. 6-3 the score.
Neither side showed just a whole lot of firepower on
No,
offense
they
yet.
really haven't. And you know, haven't been a lot of stops in action. We're yet to have our first immediate timeout as that jumper by Evans good. I say jumper loosely. That was somewhat flat-footed. She didn't get too far off the court with that shot, but it counts just as well.
Is it a silver treasure if it's 2 and a gold if it's a 3?
That could be the case. The freshman from Frisco gets 2 points on the board for Harding. And Rose comes down, gives a little bit more than token defense to force the inbound pass to come another direction. Here in Bartlesville, side of the GAC tournament for now its 6th season. Great place to come watch some basketball. Collins looking for Evans, finds her. She has Jones on her, turnaround jumper. That is good, and Jones gave her plenty of space to make that shot.
Averaging 12 points a game, she has been able to rattle a couple of home from the baseline. Harding will have to start cutting that off.
Well, Jones just gave her too much room, and really the spin move, she didn't have to step back at all. She just turned and fired. That foul is going to go on Harding, or excuse me, on UAM, and I think that's on Peterson. If it is, that's her second. We'll talk about that a little bit more when we come back. That's the media timeout. UAM to with 1-1 of the #1 seed. Back in a moment on the GAC Sports Network.
What makes Henderson a better choice in education? Is it the campus or the buildings? Is it class size or professors with PhDs? Is it the cost, the value? What is it about Henderson?
It's me.
A strong educational foundation from Henderson put Richard Jacobs on the road to becoming a doctor. Today, he's at the forefront of pediatric research and care. Henderson prepares today's students for tomorrow because what counts is what you become. Henderson State University.
Southwestern women's basketball team. Actually, that's Southeastern right there. Southeastern women's basketball team. Someone waving at the camera. How you doing, folks? And Michael, you were talking about Southwestern a little bit earlier. We got Southeastern right there. I've had an opportunity to call those girls' games over the course of this season, and they've had a nice little run. Tied for third in the standings. They're the number 4 seed in the tournament. They'll be playing tomorrow at noon against East Central. Of course, we'll have all the action right here on the GAC Sports Network for that tomorrow at noon.
Yep, absolutely. There's going to be a lot of great games. We've already seen a couple. And, hey, here in this one, the 8 seed. It's early, but they're right there with the top seed.
Paget for 3. That one no good, and Hogue tips it out again. And asking for it right back. She won't get it from Haney, though. Haney passes over into the hands teammate Mackenzie McNamara in for Harding. Also, as substitutes come through, that cross-court pass from Paget a little bit too strong. UAM with a couple of substitutes in the contest right now as Braxton Chumley has come in for the Cotton Blossoms. A 5'10 sophomore from Benton, Arkansas, as well as Mackenzie Johnson. Another player from Missouri City, Texas. Coach Tanya Reyes found the pipeline to Missouri City. Got some good players to come over and be a part of the program in Monticello. Chumley with the ball. I think that was tipped away from her. As it is, Harding with a 3-on-1. McNamara drives out and gives up any opportunity for the fast break. Haney will be fouled as she drives in.
I wonder what her thought was there. I think she's even kind of shaking her head a little bit. Now, she was
ahead of the pack.
She didn't have a great angle to the rim, yeah. But either way, they still keep the ball.
You always have to have somebody following you, but you never know if they are following you. You hope they are. As Paget has Waheed to come out on her. Excuse me, no. That was Heidebrecht, Chelsea Heidebrecht.
Back-to-back possessions here with Heidebrecht holding on. Waheed closing out on her.
Heidebrecht, a sophomore from Lawton, Oklahoma, actually played her high school ball at Cache. 1:27 left here in the first quarter. 1-point contest, and you know, Michael, you look at it on paper. Again, we said there's an 11-game winning streak Harding has right now. You look at it on the court, as the first free throw goes in, and think, well, you know, could be a bit of a mismatch, but UAM is really holding its ground in the early going.
Yeah, they absolutely are. Thanks to Treasure Evans, 3 jumpers that she's made, and 1 free throw from Broadway earlier.
It's 10-7. Top-seeded Harding on top by 3. As the first quarter has gone by quickly here. Kicking that outside as Monticello has more players in the game. Mia Hayes, a sophomore, has come in, and Waheed's shot misdirected as well. Lacey Alford, a sophomore, coming in for Coach Ray as well. Inside to Hogue, left-handed shot good. Evans backed away just a bit and gave Hogue some room.
And it's all guard play right now, Joey. That's something that will benefit Harding with the way they play inside. They beat Monticello earlier this year 57-43, and 40 of those points came in the paint.
Makes a big difference, doesn't it? Ball swiped by Hogue and into the hands of Haney to bring it down. Yeah, I mean, with Peterson out, as that one's going to go against Haney. And Michael, with all that she does well, and she does a lot well, you expect at least 1 player control foul a game, maybe 2. And here you see it now. Just lowering the shoulder there. Hayes goes down. Less than 40 seconds remaining. But yeah, no forwards on the court. And you look at the height and the size there, no one resembling a forward on the court. This is true 5-guard play. Evans drives, and she was fouled. That's going to be on the court.
Now, where Monticello does have the advantage, if they can start hitting some shots,
exactly,
that changes things. But right now, they're really not doing that.
Still a young team, though. Just like the men's basketball team at Monticello. I mean, this is a team that many of these players will be coming back next year. Less than 20 on the clock. Shot clock is off. Chumley outside as she drives in. Off the glass, a little too strong. Hogue tipped the rebound to herself. Looked ahead. Finally, Rose finds her. Down the court. And Miller was fouled as she went up. She'll go to the line to shoot 2 with 7 seconds left.
That's a great pass from Rose. All the way down the court.
Well, Rose was looking ahead. The pass, the outlet came to Rose, and she already knew where she was going with that ball. First free throw, no good. second is, though, Fallon Miller puts her team up by 6. Chumley will go out. Collins comes back in for the final 7 seconds of the first period. Inbound, something has to happen quickly for Hayes. Nearly loses it, kicks it back out. Evans won't get a shot. Rose almost gets a shot. It's a 6-point advantage for the top seed. A little bit sloppy as the quarter came to an end. But someone who's not sloppy with his statistics, that's Paul Smith, and we throw it to him now.
Joey, you're too kind. It's end of the first quarter here. Harding with a 13-7 lead over UAM. During the first women's game, we talked about what the bottom half of the regional bracket looks like. Right now, we're going to talk about the top half of it. And the key here is Emporia State. Emporia State, the 1 seed. Looks like they're going to hold on to that 1 seed due to strength of schedule, regardless of the outcome of the MIAA tournament. But here's where it gets interesting, particularly if you're a fan of Harding. Emporia State unable to host a regional basketball tournament due to commitments with the Kansas High School State Basketball Championships. And with Harding at the 2, it is very unlikely at this point that Pittsburgh State could catch Harding from the 3. So very likely that Harding will be the regional host next week, even if they are the 2. Behind them you have Pitt State, Minnesota State, Moorhead, Central Oklahoma, Central Missouri. It looks like your 1 through 6 teams in this regional poll right now are locks. Arkansas Tech virtually there by virtue of their win earlier today. But hey, we've got a lot of ball to play here. We'll see how it shakes out in the coming days. Joey?
And you know, that is a valid point for the GAC specifically to be able to host again. It'd be really nice for the conference and to be able to get more than 1 team in. The opportunity is availing itself. As he said, Arkansas Tech may have put itself in with the win today. Again, lots can happen, but that may be enough to get it done. So
wouldn't it be great to look up and see 5 of the 16 teams, men and women combined,
exactly,
playing all from the GAC?
Exactly. And here in year 6 of the conference, and Michael, it's neat to be able to say year 6 now as opposed to year 2 and no automatic bid. Year 6, and we're talking about multiple bids for both women and men as UAM starts off aggressively, and going to the line to shoot 2 free throws will be Lacey Alford. Through the first quarter, statistics look like this as Monticello and Harding each have a player with 6 points. Treasure Evans had 6 of the 7 Cotton Blossom points. Nandi Haney had 6 for the Lady Bisons.
25% shooting for Monticello. If that number comes up here in the second quarter, they'll still be right in this thing.
And Alford makes both free throws back to within 4.
You know, Coach Kirby probably wants them to shoot better than 33%, but it was a pretty good quarter for Harding. 11 rebounds. I mean, they controlled the pace of the quarter, I thought, for the most part.
Different defensive look, and Layrock simply leveled, absolutely leveled Hayes to get her out of the way, trying for the loose ball.
Well, you know, Hayes has already been run over once.
Wow.
Yeah, Hayes was run over earlier by Ondi Haney, and at 5'6", she has taken a bit of a beating, but the foul is actually called on her. Be her first.
Wow. It will stay on the Harding end. And it will stay on the Harding end after another foul is called. Tough to sort this one out. We'll see who picked that one up. I believe that one's going to go against Taylor Collins. That's her first personal foul. Second team foul against Monticello here in the second quarter. Pass inside to Jones. Spin move down low, and Evans had no choice but to back away as opposed to wanting to pick up a third foul on the same trip down the court.
Exactly. It gets interesting here with the way it's being called, because we already talked about Harding having an advantage inside. If it's going to be called close, well, that really works to Harding's advantage.
Stop jumper that time by Collins. No good, came up a little bit short.
And that's what Monticello will have to do right there. They can't afford to go right at Layrock and Hogue when she's in the game, and even Jones. They've got to step out and hit those 6, 8-footers.
Evans took a chance, put a hand up there, got a hand on the ball, redirected that shot, and now Monticello will get the opportunity on the other end to cut in a 6-point deficit. Wahid, the living scorer for the team, gives up to Evans, and her 3-point attempt is no good. We talk about Harding being the number 2 seed or excuse me, the number 2 team in the regional rankings, as a dual possession means that the ball will stay on Harding's end. Well, rightfully so. I mean, Michael is a team that's 24-3 on a 10-game winning streak right now. Opened the season with a win at a neutral site in Overland Park, Kansas, against the team that's number 15 in the country right now in Moorhead, Minnesota Moorhead. By the way, Harding, number 13 in the national rankings as well. And that's a good reason why, too, because Fallon Miller puts a three-pointer in, and they've doubled up the Cotton Blossoms 18-9.
You probably knew this could be a special team when they lost to Arkansas State in an exhibition by 10, Division I school. I mean, that game was close late, so they have really played well all throughout the year, start to finish.
Brittany Broadway will go to the line to shoot, too, as she took it in and brought in the foul. You know, you're right. If you look through the schedule, you have to watch sometimes. You get on the conference website, you look through the schedule, and you see loss, and you think, man, they lost more. I didn't think they lose that many. Well, some of those are exhibition games. You know, another loss on the schedule, Abilene Christian. Again, a Division I program. You pick up the L there, it doesn't count against you. But the good news is, and for Coach Tim Kirby's squad, I mean, midway through the season is when that Abilene Christian game took place. You're playing strong against strong teams.
3 losses, 2 of them by 1 point.
Right.
I mean, that tells you 1 point loss to Southwestern, 1 point loss to Christian Brothers.
Layrock for 3, top of the key, no good. And rebound is Miller. Her putback's no good, and Hogue can't knock that one to herself. It goes off the glass, and UAM brings it the other way. Michael, we're going to call one more game tonight, and I don't know, inexplicably, it's not going to be UAM and Harding. We've done this a couple times already, getting used to calling those 2 names. Travel, and it'll give the ball back to Harding.
Jimmy Sledge, the longtime radio announcer for Arkansas-Monticello, I said, hey, it's a split doubleheader for you today. And he said, just another day at the office.
That's right.
Our one earlier today was Monticello 72, Harding 58 on the men's side. And again, that last game tonight will be East Central, the number 1 seed, against number 8 Henderson State.
Backdoor cut, and Haney just couldn't quite get it through to Layrock. Nice job on defense by UAM. Broadway will slow it down. And it looks to go the half-court set again. Evans wanted to post up that time on the left elbow, but she had to bring it out. And now she stops. There's the double team. Gives it off to Alford. And that's a mismatch, and Alford comes up a little bit lame on the other end. It's 5-on-4, and Rose shot no good. Hogue tips it to herself again, and Alford's going to have to take a seat. Official gives an opportunity for a timeout as she is favoring her left leg. We'll go ahead and take a timeout, too, for just a moment. 2010, the score, back on the GAC Sports Network.
It's on us to stop sexual assault.
In any way that we can.
To get a friend home safe.
To never blame the victim.
It's on us.
To stand up.
To make our community safe for all.
It's on us.
It's on us to look out for each other at parties.
It's on us.
To be more than just a bystander.
To step up and say something.
It's on us. All of us.
To stop sexual assault.
Learn how and take the pledge at itsonus.org.
I knew that Arkansas Tech would help me stand out from the crowd.
But I didn't know I'd be standing out in front of the crowd.
I knew I wanted to be a part of Greek life.
But I didn't know Tech would change my life.
I knew Tech would help me become a leader.
But I didn't know Tech would lead me to graduate school.
I knew my art professors had years of experience, but I didn't know that I would get real-world experience before graduation.
It's easy to see why more than 12,000 students choose Tech. Come take a tour of campus and discover what else you don't know about Tech.
Ani Haney puts in a 3 for Harding to open up the three-point line, get it going. On the other end, it was Treasure Evans who put her team on her back during the first quarter at 6 of the 7 points early. Layrock's driving in, and Harding owns a 10-point advantage right now.
Game's been opened up a bit here. It's a big possession for Monticello out of the timeout.
Lacey Alford still being worked on the bench. And for Monticello, it's Mackenzie Johnson who comes back in. She has the ball, spins around, and I think Hogue got a hand on that as well.
That's her 3rd block today already. Again, leads the conference 2.6 a game, already above that average, and we've still just in the second quarter.
Monticello brought out a different look on defense about 3 minutes ago. They've gone to the zone now, and a good hands out, swiping the ball by Collins. Will knock it out of bounds. Shot clock stays at 13. Braxton Shumley will check back in as she replaces Johnson. A little bit of different defense, looked good for a couple of possessions, then Harding's moved the ball around a little bit better, and they figured it out. It's tough to figure that out, though. Broadway went up for that. Hoag's jumper is too strong, and Waheed comes away with the board. Aisha Waheed, all GAC honorable mention, the only Monticello Cotton Blossom to get that recognition this year. Sophomore from Missouri City, played at Elkins High School. And she's one of those that this program may build around. One of the new names is Haney's foul by Evans, tried to get through. Lots of new names coming to the fore for Coach Tanya Ray in this season.
Sure, yeah. Waheed, I remember her having a pretty good freshman year last year, which she was overshadowed by a lot of seniors on that team. Jordan Goforth leading the way, but it has been her year this year. That last possession, the double team came over. Nobody warned her about it. They were able to knock the ball free, and she'll have to have a little better communication with her teammates out there when she drives in.
That's the third team foul against Monticello here in the second quarter, and the spin move, the jumper, good for Jones. And it's now 22-10. The Harding offense starting to exert itself somewhat.
Jones a sophomore, Layrock a junior. This is going to be a good team next year too. Not that we're closing the door on this season.
Are you looking ahead?
Maybe a little bit. Just it's amazing. They just always reload, always have players.
Taylor Collins finally puts another couple of points on the board, and that left-handed layup is good. It's 22-12 now. The 10-point advantage. Still a zone look for Monticello. And Heidebrecht's three comes up a little bit short, but once again, a Harding rebound, but Jones throws it away. Broadway ahead of Rose, and Rose with the block. Amazing defensive play. Riley Rose does not give up on it. Comes over to help up Broadway as well. Good sportsmanship. And let's look at that one more time. Good job by Rose. Headed into the cameraman as well. Hope Yoshi's all right down there.
The collision occurred after the play was basically over. It was just good defense there from Riley Rose.
Well, talk to high school players and try to give any kind of encouragement. Never give up on the play. Never give up on the play. Waheed's going to be fouled by Haney, and Haney will pick up another foul right here. I mean, you just have to look back to the NBA Finals this past year. Probably the best play of the entire 7-game series was LeBron James' block.
Yeah.
Now that may be the seminal moment of the entire playoffs, and it was just that he didn't give up on the play.
Or the final minutes of the Oscars. That could change on you too. You never know. La La Land blew a 3-1 lead.
Yeah, exactly. Rose comes away as Waheed loses it. Rose down the court, and her shot no good. Another rebound. Offensive boards for Harding have been big. There's the backdoor cut. Miller suddenly finds a triple team, but gets the shot on the fall away anyway. 4 minutes left here in the first half, and Harding consistently outdistancing itself from Monticello by a score of about twice as much as the Cotton Blossoms have.
19 rebounds, 8 of those on the offensive glass.
Exactly. And that is huge. 2 more points. Monticello not done yet.
Brittany Broadway and Treasure Evans.
Listen, Corey Moyer is not done as well. And Coach Tanya Ray says, I'm done for a moment. She takes a timeout, and we'll go ahead and take this one too. Back in a moment, 27-14 the score here on the GAC Sports Network. Back here Back here on the GAC Sports Network as Harding gets a three-pointer from Corey Moyer.
You see the look on her face, determination after she hit that shot.
Moyer, a senior from Verdigris, 6'1" senior. We called her name quite a bit in the last couple of years. I think specifically her sophomore year, and she's making some noise here. Verdigris not far down the road here from where we are in Bartlesville.
I didn't mean to cut off that play. I was going to say that Evans and Broadway, the only two that have scored consistently for UAM. A couple of free throws in there. Collins with a bucket, but they're going to need somebody to start stepping up in a hurry.
Well, there's Broadway trying. Goes a little bit off the mark. McNamara with the board. Out to Rose. And more of the second unit out on the court right now for Harding, as Haney with 2 fouls. She's had to take a seat. And we have a 3-second violation right now as the pass went into Jones and she took too long to figure out what she wanted to do. Less than 3 minutes remaining here in the first half. The Lady Bisons, the offense seems to be doing pretty well. Shots not bad, shooting nearly 39%, 10 from 26 from the field, 3 of 9 from outside the arc. Get about 33% from the arc, and that's not a bad percentage right there. But for Monticello, the turnovers, I mean, you have to have points on your end of the court against this Harding team. Well, turnover the other direction. Peterson back into the contest. Nelsha Peterson playing with 2 personal fouls while he took an extra step, got the shot off anyway, and there's the rebound. We'll take it the other direction.
10 turnovers for UAM, so you think about the possessions that have been lost there.
You know what? Talk about losing the ball. Jones lost the ball, but Moyer came through. It's on the court. It's a dual possession. It favors Monticello now, does the possession arrow. And, you know, that's the kind of hustle play that you want from your team. You have people cutting through, and that time it was Moyer cutting through actually part of the play, but she had her head up. She was able to pick the ball up, keep it on the Harding end. Dual possession gives it back to Monticello, but still credit Moyer for the heads-up play. And you see Moyer now out there on the court. Harding lineup includes Layrock and Hogue. And only Peterson in the post for Monticello. Broadway's layup, no good, a little strong. And Harding will take it the other direction. Broadway gives some fits down the court to Paget. Still in that zone look. And Peterson forces Hogue to back away to take that shot. But another offensive board. Paget for 3, and she drains it. Now 30-14.
Here's what I saw on that possession there. Hogue was looking to pass first. She probably could have gone right to the rim and got the 2. Instead was looking for a perimeter player. It didn't work the first time. They get the rebound. Second effort, they score.
Good effort by Waheed that time. 2 more points for Aisha. And by the way, to even take that a little bit farther, Michael, how about this? For Harding, 30 points on 8 assists. And not all of those assists went for 2-point baskets either, as we saw the 3-point just a moment ago. So the majority of the field goals taking place off an assist. Chumley's going to pick up the foul from behind. It'll send Layrock to the line to shoot 2. When more than half of your baskets like that are coming off assists, that's always a good sign for your team.
Well, you're moving the ball, you're spreading out the defense, wearing them out, getting good looks.
Substitutions as Rose comes back in, as does Heidebrecht. And Moyer, after a solid effort, takes a seat, as does Paget. Second free throw good as well, and once again, Harding has doubled up UAM.
Coach Kirby has a lot of options, a deep bench. I don't know if I've seen him with this many players the last couple of years. He's got a lot of offensive firepower on the bench right now.
I agree. Great jumper in the lane. Taylor Collins with 2 points. Shot clock is off now as Harding can hold for the last shot. You know, you're right, Michael. I mean, we've seen star power before on a high level from Harding, but this may be as deep as that bench has gone. Timeout called for And we keep it right here as it's the 30-second variety, 12.8 seconds left in the half. And as we do prepare for our halftime, we'll go to Paul Smith, who has a winning coach he'll be visiting with.
Hey, I enjoyed the press conference with the Arkansas-Monticello coach and players. That's the first time I've ever gotten a handshake from both players, I think, as they left the podium. Came over to tell us thanks for being there.
Well, I think that I'll just go ahead and say that's your winning coach right now. As we see some of those UAM players, well, they've already got a win in the books today. They can kick back a little bit.
Put your cell phones up, guys. You're on TV. Wave to the crowd. Maybe a few of them noticed.
Coach Kyle Toland from Arkansas-Monticello, the men's coach, will be speaking with Paul Smith at the half, which is just 12.8 seconds from now. Layrock inbound right in front of us, and you're going to have to get the play started pretty quickly, as Rose does. Comes off a bit of a screen. Layrock, the pass inside, turnaround jumper. Oh, good! A clutch shot at the end of the first half, and a 16-point advantage for the top-seeded Lady Bisons of Harding. They'll go to the break up 34-18. And for Harding, leading the way, a couple of players with 6 points apiece in Andy Haney and in Fallon Miller. Let's go ahead and throw it to Paul now. Half, as he gets to visit with the winning coach of the other UAM team.
Thank you, Joey. I'm here with Coach Kyle Toland, the UAM Boll Weevils. First, congratulations on an outstanding win today.
Thank you. Obviously, it was a good win against a good team, and we're excited to be moving on.
Well, have to go back a little bit. We'll talk a little bit about the history of the program. First conference championship since 1956. A tremendous accomplishment. You know, for a team that was picked to finish last, was that something that was a motivating factor for you this year?
Yeah, I think no doubt about it. And when that poll came out, it kind of drove our guys all year long. So I think that was part of it. And, you know, and we've had a good group from the day one since they've been on campus, really bought into each other and bought into what we're doing.
In talking with Seth earlier, one of the points he wanted to drive home was the culture of the program. And it really seems like there is a winning culture around the program. But, again, like you said, good guys have bought into the mission.
Yeah, I think that's it. We've tried to really develop a culture, and we've got certain core values that we believe in on and off the floor in the classroom, and we tried to hold to those standards every day. And that's the one thing, you know, where I've come from. I've worked for good people, and it's been at a certain level the program has, and we're trying to do the same thing at UAM.
You had a lot of experience on the bench working with your father at Oklahoma Baptist. Now the roles are a little bit reversed. He's with you. You know, how is it having an experienced coach like that, someone you trust as a sounding board?
Well, yeah, I mean, obviously it's huge. I've got the best advantage in the league of having somebody who's won as many games and done as many things as he has. You know, there's just certain things that come up that he's been through before, and it's been nice to have him around and willing to help.
Something that you and I both know is that the Monticello community is basketball crazy. What's the atmosphere been like in Steelman Fieldhouse?
It's been awesome. I mean, we've had great crowds this year. The community support, as you know, is just unbelievable. It's amazing how many text messages or phone calls or people come by your office. I mean, Monticello is a great place. There's lots of good people in the community, and, you know, they've embraced my family and I, and we love it there.
You're here to collect hardware, but really your NCAA tournament destination, not so much in the air. You guys will make the regional next week. Just in coaching this team and preparing them to try to win, you know, to win the semifinal game, go on to play for a conference title, and then keep going. I mean, what are you telling the guys?
Well, I hope you're in charge of the NCAA, knowing that we're in. We've told them we don't know if we're in or not. So we still think there's a lot to play for, you know, and that's one thing is we like to continue. You like to be playing your best basketball of the year right now. We think that, you know, I've been in the GAC now 3 years, and I think this is the best that's been on the men's side. I mean, I think there's several really, really, really good teams, and you know, we get good competition. You got a chance to play on a neutral floor, and so that the goal is just, hey, all year long, let's get better. Whatever happens Thursday, Saturday doesn't matter. We're coming back Monday to get better.
And it seems like for the first time since we've been having this tournament, there are 8 teams show up legitimately with a chance of walking out of here with hardware. You can kind of throw the seeds out the window when you see that.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I mean, like Harding earlier today, I mean, I thought they were capable of winning the tournament. Jeff does a really good job, and they've got enough guys that can make shots and good players. I think you're exactly right. Seeding should throw them out the window, and there's 8 pretty close teams.
Well, we saw a great game. We wish you best of luck going forward.
I appreciate it, Paul.
Head coach Kyle Toland, the UAM Boll Weevils. UAM Cotton Blossoms trailing Harding at the half of this one, 34-18. We'll be back with the second half. Don't go away. This is the GAC Sports Network.
Defining moments. championship dreams. Share the experience with your family and friends. The 2017 NCAA Division II Women's Basketball Championships, March 21st, 22nd, and 24th at Alumni Hall in Columbus, Ohio. Visit ncaa.com/tickets for your tickets today.
Opportunity begins here.
Southeastern Oklahoma State University.
Seize your opportunity. Soar to new heights with our nationally accredited aviation program.
Seize your opportunity.
Southeastern's renowned education program has launched thousands of teaching careers.
Seize your opportunity.
From occupational safety, health and business, to behavioral and natural sciences.
Seize your opportunity.
Southeastern Oklahoma State University.
SC.edu.
Log on now
and seize your opportunity.
Southern Nazarene University was just ranked the best college in the state of Oklahoma by Money Magazine. That's big news, but it's not a surprise to us. Money ranks SNU as one of the top 50 colleges you can actually get into, and in the top 50 most affordable private colleges in the nation. Why travel when Southern Nazarene University is right here in Bethany, Oklahoma? Inspired academic excellence in a success-driven environment. Southern Nazarene University, the best college in Oklahoma.
So, can I see you again?
I'm free on Black Forest Ham Day.
There's a Subway 350 sub of the day to help you remember life's important days.
We got married in June.
On Tuna Day.
Every day a different 350 6-inch sub. Every day of the week. Every sub contains no artificial flavors. At just $3.50, it's a great sub at a great price.
Her name is Terry.
She was born on Sweet
Onion Chicken Teriyaki Day.
The 350 sub of the day. Every day of the week at Subway.
College is my time to find myself and start my future. That's why I chose SWASU. Going up.
15 nationally accredited academic programs and nearly 100 clubs, all for me.
Thanks to this state-of-the-art nursing lab, he'll be better in no time.
And our brand new Pioneer Cellular Event Center for sports, concerts, and cool events.
All for me!
Oh, it's for me, it's for me.
SWASU, the focus is you.
At the University of Arkansas-Monticello, yes you can.
For me, that meant that I could afford to go to college. When I was considering colleges, it was important to find one that my parents and I could afford. So I was happy to find that I could attend the University of Arkansas-Monticello at one of the lowest costs of any four-year college in the state. Affordability, tradition, a great college experience. It all comes together here at UAM.
At the University of Arkansas-Monticello, yes you can.
Enough. Yeah, I'm over it.
We shouldn't need commercials to tell you we're powerful.
No thanks.
Genders don't play sports. Athletes do.
Defining moments. Championship dreams. Share the experience with your family and friends. The 2017 NCAA Division II Men's Basketball Elite 8, March 22nd, 23rd, and 25th at the Sanford Pentagon in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. Visit ncaa.com/tickets for your tickets today.
It's been all Harding in the first half. 34-18 the score, another assist. Zondi Haney actually didn't get the assist there. Hogue gets the putback. The Lady Bisons have really stepped it up, shot after shot. Now you see a nice look from Collins there. Took advantage of an opening on the left side. And Broadway gets 2 to fall. But Riley Rose has been able to move the ball around. Grabs the assist on the three-point shot there for Harding. 10 assists on the evening. Monticello not done. 20 minutes left to play here. That was the final 2 points. The Cotton Blossoms got in before the break, but Hogue, just before the buzzer sounds, extends it to a 16-point lead once again. Joey McWilliams, Michael Westbrook, Paul Smith with you this evening from Bruin Fieldhouse here in Bartlesville, Oklahoma. The Great American Conference Tournament, the 2017 edition. And Michael, I know one of the key stats that you've taken away from the first half is a pretty big one in the favor of the Lady Bisons.
2 big stats. Harding has out-rebounded Monticello 23-10, and then second chance points. Harding 11, Monticello 0. So Harding, when they have had an opportunity back at the rim for a second or third time, they've been able to capitalize. They're getting those opportunities because of the 9 offensive rebounds.
Goes a long way. If you get that many extra chances to make baskets for a team that can score anyway, you're going to, that's a big recipe for success for Harding, as the Lady Bisons will inbound to start the second half, up 16 points. Thanks for watching Game 3 of the day. Game 2 of the tournament on the women's side of the bracket, and Monticello will open the second half with a foul. First team foul charged to the Cotton Blossoms, as that foul will be going specifically against Taylor Collins, her second personal. For Harding to start the second half, it's Paget, Haney, Layrock with the ball, Hogue posting up, and Fallon Miller on the court. And Harding's white, black numerals, as Miller's 3 is good. And once again, Harding now more than double what UAM has on the scoreboard. By the way, the Cotton Blossom lineup to start the second half. UAM in the black uniforms. Broadway with the ball, finds Waheed, and Waheed drives in. Her shot no good off the back iron. Also on the court, Evans, Peterson, and Collins. Ahead is Miller to receive that pass, and she looks inside for Layrock. And Miller gets it back. Second three-point opportunity of the second half doesn't go for, though.
Well, I thought if that one had gone, Monticello might have to use an early timeout. Miller hit a 3 before the half closed, and a 3 out of the third quarter as well.
You know, Paul was talking at the half about the excitement in Monticello, a basketball-happy town, and rightfully so. I know that you're trying to jump ahead to 2017, 2018 already. But when you think about this Monticello, both these teams are young. I mean,
sure.
There's a lot to be excited about.
Well, on the men's side, nearly all juniors on that roster, so a lot of players coming back. And then, yeah, as we've talked about, Waheed, a sophomore, Mia Hayes, a sophomore, Broadway's a junior, Collins a junior. They've got a lot of players. Alfred, a sophomore, all the way down the list basically, except for Nelsha Peterson, the only senior on this team.
And she hit 2 free throws right there, so if this does wind up being her final game, she's going to go out playing strong.
Well, let's see if that gets her going, because
it may. Layrock's 3, though. You counter 2 free throws with a long-range shot like that, and Harding on top now 40-20.
And when the post players can step out like that, watch out. It gets dangerous.
It really does. And it's kind of like the Harding's men's team. I mean, you've got, doesn't matter what uniform number you wear, pretty much have the green light to shoot the ball from long range.
I'll tell you, you mentioned year 6 of the GAC. All that has done for me is allowed me to forget some things.
Haney drives in. Layup comes up a little bit short. Collins with the 2-on-2.
Year 1 and 2, I could remember it all, but during the break, Doug Self, the official statistician of the tournament, he and I went back and reviewed the 2014 tournament where the Harding Great 8 went all the way to the finals and won the finals. That was a great Harding men's team. We were thinking about that throughout halftime.
Evans drives in, triple penetration. She kicks out to Peterson, doesn't make the shot. She'll get it back, and her jumper on the putback is good. That was a fantastic team. You're right. It is fun, though, the memories for the tournament itself and all that's happened in Bartlesville now in 6 years running here with the GAC and tournaments prior to that. But still, it's been fun to watch.
And one of those people that was on that team, Weston Jamison, now an assistant for the Harding women's team.
Has to be excited about that as Fallon Miller hits another three. Michael, you were talking about Coach Ray needing to take a timeout, and she does right there. We'll take the timeout with them. Harding on top by 21. Back in a moment on the GAC Sports Network.
I knew that Arkansas Tech would help me stand out from the crowd.
But I didn't know I'd be standing out in front of the crowd.
I knew I wanted to be a part of Greek life.
But I didn't know Tech would change my life.
I knew Tech would help me become a leader.
But I didn't know Tech would lead me to graduate school.
I knew my art professors had years of experience, but I didn't know that I would get real-world experience before graduation.
It's easy to see why more than 12,000 students choose Tech. Come take a tour of campus and discover what else you don't know about Tech.
It's a three by Andy Haney in the first half, and Fallon Miller has picked it up here in the second half. Evans' jumper looked pretty, but right now, Monticello's going to need about 10 to 12 more of those and some defensive stops to get back into this one. 43-22 the score. Harding on top here in the third quarter. Joey McWilliams along with Michael Westbrook, Paul Smith on the GAC Sports Network. Thanks for watching tonight. Day one, the 2017 edition of the GAC tournament. You know, another stat that does, again, stand out to me, Michael, the assist count for Harding keeps rising, now 13 on the evening.
Yeah, their ball movement has been great. Open shooters, and the shots starting to fall at a more rapid pace than they did in that first quarter. Second quarter and this part of the third have been played really well by Harding.
Another foul picked up this time by Andy Haney. She has 3. Harding not in as much need of her services here right now as, I mean, it's been a deep bench we've talked about for Coach Kirby. If Harding continues to run here in the conference tournament, those are fouls, though, that Haney won't want to pick up. Hogue nearly with the board. Haney comes away with it and loses it. So it will stay on the UAM end.
Our other women's game today, look how much Arkansas Tech had to play their starters. Ended up being a 12-point win over Ouachita, but they pretty much had to keep them out on the floor most of the contest. Harding's got a real opportunity to open this up even more and have some rest at the conclusion of this one, and then, of course, off tomorrow.
Michael, I agree with you. That 12-point differential, that's misleading. It really is. Ouachita played a fantastic game. As Collins' 3 is off the mark, Hogue gets the board this time and finds Haney as the outlet. A great effort by the Lady Tigers today. And, you know, it really was. It was start to finish. Had a lead much of the game. Hogue looks back to Rose, and Rose open, doesn't want to take the shot. Something that you don't see all the time is Hogue's turnaround jumper no good. She and Jones on the court at the same time right now. Interesting look for Harding. Peterson outside the arc, and Hogue is giving her enough room that, I don't know, Michael, do you take that shot if you have that much room? She's not going to. She's going to give it up.
You almost feel like you have to at least once, but of course that's not Peterson's game.
And Collins can't get that one to go. You know, and I agree. It's almost at least once to just bring the defense out. Even if it's not your game, you just say,
you're going to respect
look,
me somehow, even if
I
don't hit the rim.
So you got to come out here. Peterson not giving Hogue any room down low. There's a double team as Haney drives in, gets her own rebound as he hits the underside of the rim. Put back no good, but Hogue finally on the third attempt on that end gets it in.
Now, you know what? Bartlesville has an elevation level of 700 feet. Hogue is just towering over everybody. It's like she's 700 feet off the ground, able to go get the rebound.
Really hadn't thought of it that way, but now perspective. Collins' jumper at the left elbow is good. And now Monticello back to within 21 right now.
I've been reading through the tournament brochure.
I can see. You know, Bartlesville does put on a good show.
They do.
We are well taken care of year after year. And the pass over Evans into Jones, and she was alone on her way to the basket. And that's part of the problem. You know, you try to front up. You try to keep the passes from coming inside. You don't want to get it to Hogue or to Jones, because once they get it, they're going to make the baskets. They're able to turn around and get those shots. The flip side of it is, if you front up and the pass is too high, well, now they're all alone. It's been one or the other tonight for Harding.
Good move there by Peterson a moment ago. Pump fake. Got Hogue up in the air, but no, you're absolutely right.
Rose loosely off a screen, and that off the glass and in.
With ease. That's what it looks like right now for Harding.
Right.
Just going through the basics, doing what they know how to do, using the glass, whatever it takes. Just keep putting them in.
Well, that looked pretty basic as well. Nice job by Broadway. Still just a 21-point game. Winner of this game will get the winner of tomorrow's noon game, which is the 4 and 5 seeds, and it's a rivalry game. Haney drives left side. She'll go to the line to shoot two. Rivalry game between Southeastern and East Central, and that should be enough to take us to the media break. We'll talk about that matchup a little bit later on, as Auntie Haney will shoot free throws when we come back. More on the way on the GAC Sports Network.
Defining moments. Championship dreams. Share the experience with your family and friends. The 2017 NCAA Division II Women's Basketball Championships, March 21st, 22nd, and 24th at Alumni Hall in Columbus, Ohio. Visit ncaa.com/tickets for your tickets today.
Monticello is staying within about 20 points. But at some point, you have to think the Cotton Blossoms have to make a move, get a defensive stop. And here in the third quarter, Michael, the defensive stops have really been few and far between. And Auntie Haney's on the line after she aggressively went to the basket, drew the foul, and she'll be shooting 2 free throws.
Well, they have. Remember, Harding shot just 33% in the first quarter, and now for the game up to 45%. So shots have been falling at a little more frantic pace, including from three-point range. 7 of 14 from downtown. That has made a big difference.
You can shoot the ball well from the outside, especially at a 50% clip. You know, and statistics bear out. If you shoot the ball well, at least around 33% from outside the arc, that's pretty good. That's, you know, shooting 50% inside the arc. You get up to 50% outside the arc, and it's generally going to make for a good night. Peterson again inside. Turnaround fall-away jumper. Well, she's making a statement tonight.
Sure, she's had 2 really good plays the last couple of times down.
And a three-pointer, no good, but a rebound, Layrock, and the putback. And Michael, another offensive board again. Wow. I mean, the Harding is just compiling those.
And another one that results in points. Good job of Layrock to come in and get the rebound.
Peterson's jumper, that one won't go. It was starting to become the Nelsha Peterson show, which is all right for the senior. She can't get that to fall. And you know, Michael, I think a couple of her teammates have been really trying to get the ball to her. Not only has she been shooting the ball well, but they're trying to direct it to her tonight as well. they recognize the contribution that she's made to this team. Hayes goes to the court, pass ahead, and Fallon Miller traveled.
Well, this will be my second Oscars reference, because Hayes had just the slightest bit of contact and then took a tumble to the court and just fell over. So she was trying to get a call there. Didn't go her way.
We'll see.
They are going to look at that.
They are going to look at it.
I can tell you what happened.
Okay.
That's what it looked like from my vantage point, but maybe they'll see something differently. It definitely looked like Hayes flopped big time.
Well, as the officials look at it, Michael, we look ahead then. Later on tonight, we have one more basketball game tonight, and that is a men's basketball game. And we'll get to see the top-seeded East Central Tigers, and what a year they've had. And we want to talk about an explosive offense. That can just absolutely blow up at any point.
Well, at the end of the year, right down to the last 5 minutes of the regular season, we didn't know who was going to finish first on the men's side. Arkansas Tech and East Central and Arkansas-Monticello. And it was just incredible to watch that finish. There's the Monticello team. They won a little bit earlier today, slated in as the 2 seed, and East Central, by virtue of the tiebreaker, got the 1 seed, and so they do play that late game tonight. And it's a Henderson team that they've already beat twice, but you know, it's tournament time. You're at a neutral court. You just never know what might happen. It should be a good game.
Going into Saturday, you were talking about that. Going into Saturday's games, East Central was not the top seed.
Right.
East Central was not even the 2 seed. East Central was the number 3 team in the standings, and still found a way to, things fell right for them to take the top the seed. So as the officials, I believe, have things sorted out right about now, we'll wait to see how they want to handle this. Coach Tanya Ray speaking with her team. Well, they've looked it over, and now everyone's nodding. Now, we don't have a mic on the officials, so we're not exactly sure what they're saying over there right now.
Well, Coach Kirby seems to be happy with whatever decision was made, so my guess is they're just going to play on.
Monticello will inbound and take it the other direction.
I think it was worth looking at because of the way Hayes did fall, because if Harding's player had extended her arms out to push her or anything, then, that would have needed to be called, but it was just the slightest bit of contact, and Hayes just kind of fell over.
Wahid's 3 attempts no good, and 2 players in white jerseys have the ball at the same time. Paget will come away with it eventually. And there's some contact that will draw the foul, and Hayes goes to the court again this time. She initiated the contact. She'll pick up the foul. Mia Hayes, a sophomore from League City, Texas. Haney comes back in. She'll enforce things for the Lady Bisons and direct some traffic out there right now.
Sydney Jones, Peyton Paget both go to the bench for Harding. Again, going back to that deep bench, those 2 players that freshman and a sophomore, logging a lot of minutes in tournament play, and deep bench for Harding.
Well, Chumley with the near steal for Monticello, but it's going to stay on the Lady Bison's end. Ball movement slowed down just a little bit for Harding now. Deliberate with their passes, but finding the open man. Shot clock below 10. Layrock's shot was blocked, and it's dual possession, and the arrow favors the Cotton Blossoms.
I was thinking back to the other team in 2014, the Harding women. They went 29-3 that season. Remember, Kristen Seltzer and Andy Haney was on that team, Ariel Saunders. They had a deep bench that year too, and some star power that really led the way to a 29-3 season. They could very well have something like that happen again this year.
I do remember, and Haney on that, a freshman on that team, is Peterson will go to the line to shoot too. And I remember we thought, well, hey, she looks like she can play. She may be a force here in a few years, and she has been.
Right.
And it didn't take a few years. Nelsha Peterson will be shooting 2 shots.
First foul on Caroline Hogue. It's only the 8th team foul of the game for Harding. So that's just another area where they've done well.
Harding has had 10 players see court action this evening. Peterson's second free throw drops. Back to a 21-point game with less than a minute left.
I like what Monticello's doing. Full court press, try to get a steal, maybe throw Harding off their game a little bit, maybe speed Harding up some.
Well, Harding doing its best to run some time off the clock as that foul will go against Hogue. Went over the back as Peterson had good position. Hogue missed the shot. She's going to be charged with the foul on the rebound. Fourth team foul against Harding here in the third quarter with 33 seconds remaining. One more opportunity. A little bit of a 1-2-2 look to get this play started, but Hayes isn't in a hurry. And Waheed and Chumley each trying to come off something, a screen at the top, but the pattern of running was far away from the screeners that no defense got rubbed off there, and that pass was knocked out of bounds. Shot clock did not reset. It will stay on UAM's end with 12 left on the shot clock. Third quarter winding down. And Evans with a long two. Her right foot was on the line. It counts as a two. Cuts the deficit to within 20. A long shot from Rose doesn't go, and we go to the fourth quarter. 10 minutes left to play here in this game. Top seed on top by 19. Harding's in control. Back with more on the GAC Sports Network.
Opportunity begins here.
Southeastern Oklahoma State University.
Seize your opportunity. Soar to new heights with our nationally accredited aviation program.
Seize your opportunity.
Southeastern's renowned education program has launched thousands of teaching careers.
Seize your opportunity.
From occupational safety, health, and business to behavioral and natural sciences.
Seize your opportunity.
Southeastern Oklahoma State University.
SC.edu.
Log on now
and seize your opportunity.
Southern Nazarene University was just ranked the best college in the state of Oklahoma by Money Magazine. That's big news, but it's not a surprise to us. Money ranks SNU as one of the top 50 colleges you can actually get into, and in the top 50 most affordable private colleges in the nation. Why travel when Southern Nazarene University is right here in Bethany, Oklahoma? Inspired academic excellence in a success-driven environment. Southern Nazarene University, the best college in Oklahoma.
So, can I see you again?
I'm free on Black Forest Ham Day.
There's a Subway 350 sub of the day to help you remember life's important days.
We got married in June.
On Tuna Day.
Every day a different 350 6-inch sub. Every day of the week. Every sub contains no artificial flavors. At just $3.50, it's a great sub at a great price.
Her name is Terry.
She was born on Sweet
Onion Chicken Teriyaki Day.
The 350 sub of the day. Every day of the week at Subway.
Lady Bisons will inbound, and the officials did review that last shot by Evans during the break. Foot was on the line. It counts just as a two, and we have 10 minutes left to play here. Corey Moyer into the contest for Harding now, as Paget back in as well. And Hogue drives around, will get the layup, and she'll draw the foul. Evans didn't get there quickly enough. Treasure Evans will pick up another personal. That's her third personal, first team foul here in the fourth quarter. As you see, Hogue, nice move from the top of the key. And the opening was there, didn't get the help. Harding also has, Monticello has Mackenzie Johnson back in the contest. Brittany Broadway as well.
Hogue into double figures, needs 3 more rebounds for a double-double. 11 points and 7 boards right now.
Harding in the man-to-man defense. Hogue isn't going to give up any space in the middle. And the shot no good. Rebound will draw a foul. 55-33. Now a 22-point advantage. That foul was on the court. Hogue will go the other direction, just hang out on the offensive end now.
She just got out of the way there.
Yeah. Well, she did her job, got the rebound as Broadway picks up the foul, her third personal. Second team foul against Monticello, and 40 seconds are all that have gone by here in the fourth quarter. Rose off the pass, slows up, gets triple team, gets the shot up and off the glass anyway. And I say triple team, there were 3 black jerseys that came over and each backed off just enough to give Rose an opportunity to go straight up. Lady Bison starting to cruise now here in the opening round match. Another jumper, that one by Johnson. Haney down the court, looks ahead, bounce pass to Moyer, shot's no good, she'll go to the line to shoot 2. Andy Haney with trying for another assist, but she draws the defense in and she gives the ball away. For Mackenzie Johnson, her first 2 points of the evening. She's seen 4 minutes of playing time tonight. And Moyer makes the free throw.
Look at this again, Haney last minute deciding to pass. Finding Moyer, a little bit of a pump fake to draw the contact.
And for Treasure Evans, that's her 4th personal foul. She's been a significant part of the offense for Monticello. She has 10 of the Cotton Blossoms' 35 points. Has 5 rebounds as well. And make that 13 of the Cotton Blossoms' 38 points. That three-pointer is a three-pointer. No foot on the line there.
Monticello has shot the ball pretty well here in the second half. 8 of 17 in the second half, good for 47%. The problem is Harding has shot 50% in the second half. So.
And that number just went up. Three-pointer by Corey Moyer. She's now 2 for 2 from the field, 2 for 2 from behind the arc as well.
And you know, Harding had gone a bit of a stretch without a 3. So just as Monticello hits one, Harding comes back with the answer.
You start looking at numbers in NBA, there are some ridiculous numbers, and actually a lot of these translate through to college as well. How about Corey Moyer? She's played 8 minutes tonight, she has 8 points. Now that's efficient. There you go. You talk about efficiency, that's efficient. The coaches too, that they have all these numbers that are fed to them. I get a chance to work with Southeastern coach Darren Grover through the course of the season, and he knows his numbers. I mean, those are big things that they work around. Moyer again. Hey, Michael, it's even more efficient now. 9 minutes in the game, she has 10 points.
And she's playing really well right now. Yeah, I would think Andy Haney has got about another minute on the court or so. Probably pull her out pretty soon, I would think. Maybe a couple other starters. Caroline Hogue, another minute or 2.
Hogue gets another rebound, and she has 9 of those. Michael, you may want to pull her out or may want to wait. No, she has 10 rebounds now. Hogue with the double-double. Make that 11 rebounds to go with 11 points.
Well, and I say that too because Harding does not have a player in the top 10 in minutes played. A lot of that's because of the way they've played this year. Some blowout wins. They've had an opportunity to rest players, but long tournament ahead still. I would still think another minute or so, and those starters will come out.
And that pass by Haney nearly knocked the entire basketball apparatus over. So she's going to try a 3 this time. That one not quite as strong. And someone in the Harding uniform may be seeing if she might step into the circle.
So we've talked about Haney's aggressive play. She throws the ball off the backboard harder than any other player, I think. Although that's not what she meant to do.
Well, 4 of the 5 on the court are going to go off to admiration from the fans. Or did all 5? Yes, all 5 stepped off. I'm sorry. There was 4 on the other end. 1 was able to just step in. 5 new players on the court now for Harding. I think that the basketball apparatus on the east end of the court is going to be all right.
I think so.
Let me check it before the men's game here in a moment.
But it was a very explosive one-handed pass.
Evans for 3, right wing shot no good. Rebound to Sydney Layrock. So we mentioned Hogue will take a seat tonight. She has the double-double, 11 points, 11 boards. Haney right now, 7 points, 5 assists and 4 boards. And Jones, pump fake, spins around. She was fouled on the court. That'll be team foul number 4 against Monticello, so Harding will inbound. Sydney Jones had 15 points in the first game between these two. That was at Monticello. It's 70-53 was the score then.
Treasure Evans fouled out of the game, and that's going to hurt Monticello. 13 points. Had a great game on the offensive end. I think Nelsa Peterson, a senior, was her replacement. I think you leave her out there the last 5.5 minutes if you can.
I definitely think so. And the shot by Collins a little bit too short. Peterson so far with 7 points and 6 rebounds tonight. And looking ahead, Layrock just down the court. She was open, a nice pass from Paget, and it's a 30-point game. So Harding, it looks like, with less than 5 minutes remaining, is very likely to move on. Top seed will push ahead and again play the winner of Southeastern East Central. And I think we were headed to break the last time we mentioned that. I'll say it before the next stop in action. That's a rivalry game. Should be a good one. Those two teams have split over the course of the season. So it's the rubber match tomorrow. That's at noon.
And the first time they will have ever played each other here in Bartlesville. So there's some excitement around that game for sure.
Peterson, they're going to charge her with the foul. It will send Layrock to the line to shoot 2 when we come back. Media timeout, our final one in this one. We'll take the break as well. Top seed on top by 30. Back in a moment on the GAC Sports Network.
College is my time to find myself and start my future. That's why I chose SWASU. Going up.
15 nationally accredited academic programs and nearly 100 clubs, all for me.
Thanks to this state-of-the-art nursing lab, he'll be better in no time.
And our brand new Pioneer Cellular Event Center for sports, concerts, and cool events.
All for me!
Oh, it's for me, it's for me.
The focus is you.
At the University of Arkansas at Monticello, yes you can.
For me, that meant that I could afford to go to college. When I was considering colleges, it was important to find one that my parents and I could afford.
So I was happy to find that I could attend the University of Arkansas at Monticello at one of the lowest costs of any four-year college in the state. Affordability, tradition, a great college experience.
It all comes together here at UAM.
At the University of Arkansas at Monticello, yes you can.
Well, the Heart of the Navy Bisons. It's been a great season. Looking to pick up win number 25 on the year after winning 21 of 22 conference games this season. And Monticello last year really put a scare in Arkansas Tech in the first round game. Came down to a last-second shot. Not so much here tonight. But a credit again, Coach Tanya Ray's team consistently makes the tournament.
That's right. It was a senior-laden team, 60-58. Arkansas Tech able to defeat the 8 seed UAM, and then Tech just started to run away with things after that, but they had a real scare in that opening round game.
Layrock makes both free throws. It's a 32-point advantage now for Harding as Moyer checks in for Layrock. Largest margin of victory in a tournament game. You have to go back to year number 2. No, actually year number 1. Southwestern defeated East Central 81-46 in that one. As Broadway's trying to do her best to keep this less than 35 points. The game there. Southwestern again comes back on March 2nd, 5 years ago today. And Peterson got a hand on that ball. Jones won't have it. Passes outside to Moyer. Her shot chased down by McNamara. By the game, by the way, also for Harding, Hannah Jamison, a 5'9" freshman from Edgewood, Texas. She's number 15.
And you want to talk about the family connection. That is her brother, Weston, who's the coach over there, the assistant coach. So another family connection at Harding.
There they are. And another three-point shot by Harding. That one to the credit of McNamara. It's a 33-point game. Well, you're right. I mean, you know, if you have a good thing going and you know, your family enjoys the experience and you say, hey, listen, sis, bro, you got to come here. This is the place to be. Waheed shot no good, can't get the layup to go. And you saw the shoulder slump just a little bit. It's just one of those nights.
Yep, absolutely.
It's not going to be that way every night. Cotton Blossoms did earn the number 8 seed, but this is one of those nights. And Heidebrecht this time for 3. That one a little bit short. Rebound, though, stays in the Harding end, but swiped away. Hayes will take it down, and Moyer forces a little bit of a disruption. Rebound Broadway. Peterson won't take that 3. Kicks out. Collins for 3. And that one off the mark.
Sometimes you just have to know you're up against a team with only 3 losses, 2 of those by 1 point, the other to the 18th ranked team in the country in Drury. That was earlier in the year, but that was their ranking at the time, and it's a really incredible team. This Harding team has proven it here tonight.
Timeout to get another member of the Harding Lady Bison's team onto the court, Jenny Nadeau, a freshman, 5'8" from Unity, Maine. There you go. Who traveled the farthest to get here outside of Kotka, Finland on the women's side of the bracket? Now we can go to the men's side, and there are a number of names.
That's true.
Another foul.
Well, if Southeastern was here on the men, we would really have our work cut out for us. Coach Kelly Green's got that international flavor a lot of times.
That's true. And if I mispronounced Jenny's name, let me make sure I say that correctly. Nadeau. Free throw good by Jamison. She's on the board.
Only plays about 4 minutes a game as a redshirt freshman, so she's going to get about that 4 minutes here in this one.
75-40. That 35-point lead we were talking of just a little bit earlier.
Even with the backups in, it's a 15-2 run right now for Harding.
Waheed will go to the line to shoot 2 as her jumper on the baseline was no good, but she drew the contact. So you look ahead a little bit. You were talking about we were talking about who this Harding team faces next. As with every other team in the GAC, Harding went 2-0 against both Southeastern and East Central. East Central played Harding a tight game in Ada this past week, and Harding did pull away in that one. The Southeastern game a little bit different. Southeastern went to Searcy, and with about a minute and a half left in the third quarter, the Savage Storm had a 26-point advantage, 26-point lead, and gave it up and lost by 3 in Searcy.
A lot of people around the league were watching that one that night, live stats, video, whatever we could, and boy, that was an interesting night for the GAC.
It's one of those games as Peterson will come away with either a block, steal, or both. She's going to fill a stat somewhere there, and she's saying, Hal, set up the screen, and Aisha Waheed drains the long-range jumper, and it's back to a 30-point game. You know, that's one of those games, too. If Southeastern, I think if you just run out the shot clock each time, even if you don't get a shot off, you still might be able to hold on for the lead. And it was quite a comeback for Harding. By the way, the largest comeback in Lady Bison's history, that win over Southeastern.
Wow.
McNamara, one dribble, spins around, and Jamison was going to give it back to her. It goes out of bounds off Collins. Minute 17 remaining here. It's a 30-point game. Harding will be playing on Saturday. Harding, the number 2 team in the region, number 13 team in the country. And if they hadn't locked up a spot in the NCAA tournament, a win tonight pretty much does that. I think they had already. Anyway, Collins for 3 on the left wing. That one's no good. Peterson doesn't push in to get that board. And Harding will let some more time run off the clock.
Looking back through the stats, Joey, I don't really see an area where Harding messed up tonight.
No.
I mean, I think everything just went how it was supposed to. 25 points off the bench, 30 points in the paint. I mean, maybe if they scored 40 points in the paint each of the first 2 times they played Monticello, so a little bit off that number, but more threes fell for them.
Heidebrecht will come in, get the foul, and it's going to send Collins to the line to shoot 2 with 35.9 left. No, you're right.
What would you take, a blowout game where you know you've got it under control, or the gritty win that Arkansas Tech had to have today? Maybe taking rest factor out of the picture, if you could, I don't know. A close game kind of gives you confidence. Maybe this game does too.
I think it depends on the team. And here's why I say a blowout game is not bad for Harding. They've beaten every team in the conference.
Sure.
It's not as if this is a game that, well, we just don't know how we would fare against this team. They've beaten every team in the conference. Now, granted, split with Southwestern, but still with at least one win.
Right.
So, you take the win that you get tonight. You know that you've shot the ball well. You've gotten everybody in. And, nobody was hurt. That's probably the biggest deal of all. No injury. Pass into McNamara, and it hits the rim on all sides and finally drops home. One last opportunity for Monticello as Wahid looks to go off the screen from Peterson. And the shot no good, off the mark. And the horn will sound. 77-45 is the final score here. Harding has 4 players in double figures, led by Sidney Layrock. 15 points for Layrock. Miller had 12. Hogue with the double-double of 11 and 11, and Moyer with 10 for Monticello. Senior Nelsha Peterson plays her final game in a Monticello uniform. She had 7 points, 7 boards on the evening, and one of 2 players with 7 points tonight. And Evans had 10 points for the Cotton Blossoms. One game remains on our docket, but in the meantime, we throw it to Paul Smith.
Thank you, Joey. As you said, final score of this contest, Harding 77, Arkansas-Monticello 45. The Lady Bisons will move on. They will play Saturday, March 4th in a noon matchup. They will play against the winner of tomorrow's Southeastern Oklahoma State and East Central game. That game will be played at noon tomorrow. But hey, we are not done here tonight, because coming up next, scheduled for an 8 o'clock tip-off, it's the 1-8 men's matchup featuring East Central and Henderson State. And we told you earlier, this is not your typical 1-8. Henderson State and East Central, it was a 2-possession game in the last 30 seconds both times. We are sure to have an instant classic when we come back. This is the GAC Sports Network.